It's been almost 1 full year since Halo Products sent over this gigantic Prime1500 pellet grill, and I have been smoking away and really enjoying my time with it. I've done a ton on this smoker. There is definitely something to be said about just walking up to your grill, pushing a button, setting the temperature, push and go, and just walking away and letting it come to that perfect temperature, just like your oven would, but with smoke. And a super unique feature of this pellet grill is that it's battery powered, and the battery lasts 15 to 20 hours. That's nuts. Look at the size of this thing. I mean, you could probably cook 6 to 8 briskets, full-size briskets, within the inside of this big bad boy, and it's gonna run on a battery? That's nuts. And like I said, Halo did send this grill to me with the intention of making content for you, but I just want you to know that no money changed hands. They're not paying me for this video. They're not paying me to say anything. These are my thoughts, and they don't get to see this video before it's published. Let's go. Now let's talk about the unboxing experience of this behemoth first. It is 188 pounds to be exact. Now, this is a far cry from the little beast that I reviewed last summer. The Prime300 is their portable battery-powered smoker, which is a fantastic smoker. I'll link to that review down below. Only 50 pounds, so quadruple the size, right? You are going to want a buddy to help you lift this after you put it all together, okay? The overall assembly process of this grill was easy, but time consuming. So give yourself some time. You're not gonna put this together in 10 minutes. It's going to take you probably 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes to just open the box and get all the parts out of the inside of it, all of it, everything organized so that when you go to follow the directions to put the stand together and the side shelves together and the overall grill together, that you just make your process a whole lot easier, okay? These side tables, these side tables are super well built, very well thought out, and I love the way that they just pop this little guy here and they fold up. And these handles are such a cool design because these handles, once you have the side shelves attached, you can lift the grill up with these side shelves with a buddy, of course. And then you just, to get it down, pop it back. So that makes really easy storage when you go to put this away. So in the wintertime, I put this in my garage. Spring and summertime, I pull it out and I cover it with the cover, which we'll talk about in a minute. And those bars are also really useful if you're going to put this on a countertop or a picnic table somewhere. You can lift it all up, and there's legs that are actually attached to the back, which we'll talk about in a little bit, that go on the bottom so you don't actually need to use the X-cart at all times. Now we're gonna talk about the X-cart. That's what this cart that is sitting on is called. I have now built 4 of these X-carts. I've built an X-cart for the table, and I've built 2 for a smoker. Now, I've got the process down pretty much, but the process isn't hard. The process is actually pretty easy, but super tedious, like really tedious. And you really gotta watch to make sure you don't pinch your fingers, so be careful. Now, there is a video that they've put together that shows you up close and personal how to assemble your X-cart. I'm gonna link to that in the description below if that's what you're interested in. So you can go watch them build it. No need for me to recreate it, they already did. But if you are gonna take this grill and put it on a picnic table or put it into your outdoor kitchen, you can just fold the X-cart up and then just tuck that away for easy storage and pull it out when you need to. So that's a nice design of the X-cart. The casters, you can pretty much take these guys off-roading. They're like tournament style rollerblade wheels. I mean, they're fantastic. And if you're the type that moves your grill around a lot, these casters will last you the long haul. That is definitely one thing I like about the Halo products is they really don't spare any expense or cut corners to save money in areas. They build it really, really well everywhere. Now, another standard among all the Halo products except for the Prime300 is the gigantic, super large grease trap. Now, I've been using this for a year and I haven't really filled this up. I've cleaned it out a couple times just to clean it out and keep it clean, but I mean, the amount of grease that a smoker makes really isn't a ton. A lot of it gets burnt off while cooking, but you have this extra large grease trap, which is a standard among all the Halo products, which is great. And it's got this great heavy duty handle, and to cover it from the elements, it's got a top to it. So that's pretty nice too. You wanna protect it from the elements. The cover is padded, kind of like a Kevlar vest almost. Like it will cover all of this and protect it from any kind of crazy weather like hail, snow, ice. It actually hailed last summer and there's no dents anywhere on this thing. So get the cover, it's well worth the money, and it is extremely heavy duty and will protect against all those things that a lot of other soft covers wouldn't. We've got bald eagles in our backyard. How cool is that? But they've created a game where they like to try to World War II style dive bomb and drop their droppings on my grills. I think they think it's a game because they try to hit every single one of my grills all the time. So another benefit of the cover is stopping bird shit. The grill comes with a fully adjustable top rack. Now, this top rack comes out just like so, or you tuck it back, you pull it forward, and then it latches up into that top spot there to give you extra room underneath so you can stick your hands in and move around any food or access any food that you need to, or you do that while you're cleaning as well. So you can clean that bottom rack without having to pull everything out of the grill. So that's really nice. Now, let's talk about the double auger system. 2 separate bays to put all your pellets in. This is one of my favorite parts of this thing because I love to experiment with the different flavors and the different types of pellets. So for instance, a little while ago, I did a bourbon custard apple pie. And on one side, I used apple pellets for that root to fruit kind of flavor thing. And then on the other side, I used Jack Daniel's pellets to kind of accent that bourbon flavor in the pie. And it was outrageous. So a really cool system separating those two. And I think you'll have a lot of fun experimenting with the different flavors and types of pellets and how they accent your food. So really fun and a really great feature. And at certain points of your cook, it may sound like your grill is haunted. It's actually just the rumblers that are inside vibrating the pellets down into the auger system so that your pellets never get stuck during your cook. And it's always feeding those pellets right into the auger system to get into the burn pot so that you can have a consistent burning fire cooking your food. And then it just shuts like that. Now underneath the main control knob, you will see 4 ports. Now those ports are for your meat probes. The grill comes with 2. Plug them in, stick the meat probe into your meat, close the grill, walk away, and then you'll be able to monitor the temps of your food on your app, and you can set those temps and monitor them as well. So great feature, and then you don't really have to worry about any of those pesky Bluetooth ones that always disconnect or sometimes just don't even work, right? Now, when you first get the Prime 1500, you're gonna wanna do a burn off to burn off all those oils or whatever could be on the inside of the grill from the factory, right? It's just a pretty typical thing you're supposed to do with every single grill that you get or every single device that you get, oven, whatever. You'll push this button once, you'll turn the knob until it reaches the prime section, and then you'll push the button again to hold it in, and that will get the auger spinning, and that will move the pellets into the burn pot for you and really fill it up. Set your temperature to 350 by tapping it once, tapping it again, and then rotating the knob to 350 degrees, bang it to get it going again, and then shut your grill and let that run for like 45 minutes to just cook off any of the crap. But before you do that, definitely make sure that there's no styrofoam and little nooks and crannies. Just give it a once over, okay? After you've completed your burn off, download the app and connect your grill to the app, the Halo Connect app, and see if there's an updated firmware. I hate the next part I'm gonna talk about because I just hate this part with every grill. I hate cleaning a grill. They just get dirty. I mean, it's a grill. There's fire and ash and grease, and you will get dirty, but cleaning this is pretty much a breeze. Right down here, this little metal spot right here will just pop out. You can empty the pellets out, pull out your grease tray and searing plate, and then I just kind of scrub it off. I scrub it off with just some soap and water, dry it off, then I put it all back together, and then I turn it back on to just heat it back up and get rid of any water that I may have left in the grill. The grates are super simple to clean. They clean really nice and easily, so very nice grates. So cleaning it isn't so bad. I've done it quite a few times on this grill so far because I've never actually had a pellet grill before the Prime 300s. They're really fun, and one thing that I've learned is that if you don't clean it out regularly, that burn pot can gather up moisture, and that ash that's left over from the pellets can kind of create some ickiness inside. That's how I'm gonna describe it. Some ickiness inside your burn pot, and it just won't burn efficiently, and you won't get to the temps fast enough. They won't hold your temps great. It won't produce the right amount of smoke either. So keep that burn pot clean, and you've got a really nice functioning pellet grill for a very, very long time. Now, about those batteries. They absolutely last 15 to 20 hours. That has definitely been my experience after some really long cooks. I've done like brisket and then a roasted chicken afterwards just to keep going, you know? And it like didn't lose beat at all. So 15 to 20 hours has definitely been my experience. Now, if you are cooking in colder weather, that could drain your battery faster. Or if you're cooking at higher temps, like if you're doing a whole bunch of stuff at 500 degrees, that's going to drain your battery faster as well because you're constantly gonna be turning that auger. More energy, more battery, and cold weather drains batteries. But like I said earlier, I have cooked in ice storms, I've cooked in snowstorms. The battery lasts plenty long for a typical cook. But just in case the battery does die on you, make sure you have two, but also it runs on DC power as well, so you can just plug it in. The batteries do charge pretty quickly, so that's cool too. If you leave the battery in and your grill's not running, the grill will drain the battery because the light will be on. But if you have it plugged in, that DC power will charge your battery at the same time as running your grill. So nice feature there. This grill also comes in 3 other sizes. I mentioned the Prime300, the portable one, but it also comes in the 550 and the 1100. I put a link in the description that shows a full comparison of all 4 of them, sizes, weights, everything. So make sure you check that out if you're interested in any of these grills. And just like everything else Halo makes, it is covered by their 5-year warranty, and I linked to that in the description below so you can check that out if you want to read the finer points of their warranty. So let's talk about the overall cooking experience, right? That's probably why you're here. We've gone over the little nuances, the little features, but the overall cooking experience has been fantastic. And particularly for me, I'm in kind of that stage in life where we've got little kids and dinner needs to be ready pretty quickly, so I can just, get home, start the pellet grill, set it to the temp that I want, and then just toss my food on. I pull it out when it's done, easy peasy. It's a really easy cooking experience. So if you're looking for barbecue style food and smoky food and you like that flavor, a pellet grill, especially one like this Halo, makes your life very easy. Before I was kind of always against pellet grills until they offered to send one, and I was like, all right, I'll be open-minded, I'll try it. I'm hooked. Now I have used this grill for just about everything in the past year, and a few of my favorites are reverse seared steaks. I usually don't like to buy steaks that are kind of tiny. I buy steaks that are like, 2.5, 3 inches. Like that's a really large steak to cook. And one of the best ways to cook a large steak, or a roast for that matter, is to cook it low and slow with some smoke and then sear it off at the end. The reverse sear, they call it. And one of my favorite ways to make a steak. It's fantastic. But I also did prime rib, I did pork butts, I've done desserts. Desserts on a pellet grill, don't sleep. And don't think you can't do a dessert on a pellet grill. A pie on a smoker is fantastic. I did my entire Thanksgiving dinner for 20 people, all on this grill. Fantastic, the turkey came out great. One of the best turkeys I've ever made. And it was so easy. So whether you're doing a giant Thanksgiving or a big chicken wing party like I did, I put like 100 pounds of chicken wings inside here, this size of a pellet grill will make your party days go really smoothly. And your guests will be super happy. And there is a searing plate in here. So you may be thinking to yourself, well, it's just smoked food. We're not gonna get real much of a sear, but there is a searing plate in here. And you just crank it to 500 and let that fire rip through your steak, because there's nothing really like a flame seared steak, right? You have that option in here. Just push a button, crank the temp to 500, and then open up the searing plate and just let it rip. And just sear it to your heart's content. Doing that with a prime rib is so good. Low and slow up on the top rack for a few hours, and then sear it off down below. That was one of the best prime ribs I've ever made. Now, these grills aren't cheap, but they're also not the most expensive in this line. So keep that in mind as you're searching around. Figure out what your budget is and what you need, what stage of life you're in, and what kind of food you like to make. And maybe a pellet grill is going to fit all of those things, but don't sleep on Halo. Now, it's quite possible that I missed something. If I missed something and you have questions, please hit me up in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer every single one of your questions and get you on the right track. So, like I said, if you have any questions or comments, definitely hit me up in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. I'll see you on the next one.